The scent of roses and sweat lingered in the air, a familiar perfume to the grandeur of the Teatro alla Scala. But tonight, another fragrance lay beneath it, cloying and alien. Cesare Marilini noticed it the moment he pushed open the door to Ilara Voss's dressing room. It was the smell of tragedy. Ilara herself was a fallen angel, collapsed in a nest of silk and tulle before her vanity. Her head was thrown back, eyes wide with an eternal surprise. Her famous mouth, which had just hours ago released notes that could shatter glass and hearts, now a soft O of termination. The official from the theater, wringing his hands in the doorway, had already declared it a heart attack. The strain, he whispered, the immense pressure. Cesare did not believe in convenient deaths. At 67, his own career as a baritone was a cherished memory, but his senses had only sharpened with time. He saw what others missed. He closed the door on the murmuring crowd, the air in the room becoming a sealed capsule. "Forgive the intrusion, maestra," he murmured to the stillness, his voice a low rumble. He moved with a funereal slowness. The room was a testament to her triumph. Wilting bouquets from admirers, telegrams of praise, a single crystal glass holding the dregs of champagne. His eyes catalogued everything, but it was his nose that led him. The strange, sweet scent was strongest here, near her. He leaned in, his old knees protesting, and examined the divine instrument of her throat. There, just below the lobe of her left ear, was a tiny, almost imperceptible puncture, a minuscule betrayal on her flawless skin. Around it, the flesh was faintly inflamed. His heart, a tired drum in his chest, beat a little faster. Murder. It was not a shout in his mind, but a cold, settled fact. His gaze swept the room again, discarding the obvious, seeking the anomaly. Then he saw it. Tucked almost out of sight behind a larger arrangement of lilies was a small, simple vase holding a single trumpet-shaped flower. It was a breathtaking, eerie white, its petals spiraling elegantly. Brugmansia, angel's trumpet, a flower of exquisite beauty and profound toxicity. Its perfume was a lethal seduction. He didn't touch it. He pictured the scene, the exhilaration of the curtain call, the adrenaline, the flush of victory. A visitor, perhaps with a bouquet. A quick congratulatory embrace. A needle, thin as a hair, dipped in the concentrated alkaloids of the flower, hidden within a stem or a fold of cloth. A prick, so slight it would be mistaken for a stray pin. Then the poison would work swiftly. Cardiac arrest, a performance of natural causes. But who? The question hung in the toxic air. The rival was obvious, but proof was ethereal. Isabella Moreau had lived for years in Ilara's shadow, her own considerable talent forever dubbed promising next to Ilara's divine. She had been in the audience tonight, they said, watching. Cesare found Isabella in the grand foyer, surrounded by a flock of anxious colleagues. She was performing grief beautifully, a lace handkerchief dabbing at dry eyes. "Signora Moreau," Cesare said, his voice cutting through the sympathetic murmurs. "A tragedy, you were close." Isabella's eyes, the color of dark honey, met his. "The world has lost a great light, Signor Marilini." "It has," Cesare agreed. He didn't look away. "She admired your dedication, you know. She once told me you had the soul of a botanist, that your greenhouse was as curated as your coloratura." A flicker, so minute only a man looking for it would see it. The handkerchief stilled in her hand. She was too kind. "It is a rare passion for a singer," Cesare continued, his tone conversational, almost bored. "The Brugmansia, for instance, a dangerous beauty, much like our art. One wrong note, one misplaced breath, or one mistaken touch, and the performance is over." The color drained from Isabella's face. The people around them sensed the shift in the air, the conversation dying around them. "I don't know what you mean," she said, her voice losing its melodic flow, becoming brittle. "I think you do." César took a small step closer. He had no weapon but his knowledge, no authority but his certainty. "The police will find no needle, it is gone. But they will find the flower in her room, and they will wonder how its pollen came to be on the cuff of your dress, and its unique toxin in the puncture wound on her neck. They are very thorough with poisons these days." He was bluffing, of course. He had no evidence of pollen on her cuff. But the seed of terror once planted needs only the fertile soil of a guilty conscience to grow. Isabella's composure shattered. It wasn't a loud break, but a quiet, total collapse. The performance was over. The truth was in the room, naked and ugly. "She took everything!" The words were a venomous hiss meant only for him. "The roles, the acclaim, his love. My voice was just as pure, but she was the sun and I was a candle, forever dimmed." César watched her, feeling not triumph, but a profound weariness. "And so you used a candle's flame to destroy the sun?" he said softly. "You substituted one performance for another. But the final curtain calls for us all, Señora. Yours has just arrived early." The hollow look in her eyes was confession enough. As the first gendarme approached, drawn by the tension, César turned and walked away. The cloying scent of the angel's trumpet seemed to have followed him from the dressing room, a sweet and poisonous ghost in the hallowed halls of art. He stepped out into the cool Milanese night, the mundane sounds of the city a welcome relief from the deadly music he had just witnessed. The aria was over.